The King was almost in the World Grand Prix. Grum was almost a trunk of. Funny Car Mater was originally red. Yeah, Cars 2 concept art was weird. I'm Ty, and this is the story of. Welcome back. It's been quite a while since I've made an episode of the story of, but I'm super excited to bring the series back with a look at some Cars 2 concept art. For those of you who don't know, concept art is made before a movie, a TV show, before anything is made, a comic book, you name it. If there is something being shown, if there is artwork, there is concept art. And what concept art basically is an early design of something. It's early artwork for how something is going to look or should look from early on in production of a story. And as you guys will see here, things will change from concept art to the final stage in the movie as we know Cars 2 today. So all this artwork is from the official Pixar website, and it's from the Cars 2 page, where they just display some trailers, character descriptions, and a little bit of insight on the making of Cars 2. So I'm going to be doing my own speculating here today, and yeah, let's begin. Now I'm going to go in order of the website. I'm not going over all the concept art. Maybe I'll go over some more in the future. Or I'm trying to get my hands on one of the Cars concept art books. I'll definitely do multiple story ofs going over that. So, let's begin with Mater. And here, I'd like to call to your attention a picture of Dracula Mater, Materhosen, and Funny Car Mater. Okay, I don't know what this Mater is. I'd assume he is supposed to be an early design for Funny Car Mater. But here, of course, you can see he's red. He looks a whole lot more like Tokyo Mater, not with his back tires being larger or his back being raised. He has an engine very similar to Snot Rod's. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they literally just redrew Snot Rod's engine or used him as a basis for this Mater. As you can see, he also has the Snot Rod-like flame shooting out the sides, and the spoiler that's a bit more of a wiry frame than the final spoiler on Funny Car Mater or even Tokyo Mater. Now, moving on to that, I'm going to go over some McQueen artwork. As you can see, the first one here looks almost like fan art or a fan edit, but this is, of course, official artwork from the Pixar website. So as you can see, this is an early design for what Cars 2 World Grand Prix McQueen with racing wheels should look like. Of course, they didn't add the decals on yet, but basically it's showing what the more advanced, high-tech, almost next-gen looking McQueen would look like. You can see McQueen body modifications front, and things are mentioned like new rear view mirror or rear quarter window. He has working headlights, ground effects, and larger exhaust, I believe that says. A new spoiler is noted, and roof vanes, which I just find really cool how that's done. It's obviously an edited picture of Cars 1 McQueen artwork. And here comes the weird one. The one in the title, on the thumbnail. The King in a World Grand Prix race next to McQueen, and kind of creepy looking early Francesco design. The King here is gold. And behind them you can see what looks like Shu Todoroki and no one else that you could really make out. But does that mean that the King was originally in Cars 2? Well, I have two theories. The theory that he is and the theory that he isn't. I'm going to go over the theory that he is first, because that's just what I'm hoping. Here you can see the King definitely has kept his normal expression, his Dinoco logos. It seems that this is the King. And also note that he's kind of painted a yellowish gold color. A yellow here, but it would probably be gold in the final product. Reminiscent of, yeah, he's done racing, but hey, he's coming back, he's gold, it's awesome. And that's kind of disappointing that they didn't go with that. But here's my theory against this. This could either be A, another American race car, B, early design for Jeff Corvette, or C, just a placeholder. Maybe they drew in a car that looked like the King, so that they just had another car prominently here. Basically, what I'm saying is maybe the King is here to be redrawn as somebody else later on. I really doubt it though, and I would hope that the King was considered early on. So moving on, of course, up next on the website we have Francesco. I'll just show you very quickly this early design. Of course, he's not colored in here. Maybe at first I didn't know what country to have Francesco from. Then again, he is an Italian style race car. Not that much different, but pretty cool nonetheless. And after this, not much for him, but I would like to go over Finn. Again, not much to say for this picture of Scuba Finn. I've actually shown this on, I believe, my most recent episode of the story of my most recent episode before this about Finn McMissile and Cars 1. I believe that was the last episode. You can see here he's much more Batmobile looking, and also in his submarine mode, where you can see some water tanks on his sides, which wasn't incorporated in the final design. In fact, in the final design, he has the two little wings on the side when he's in flight. Then after this, we have Holly. And really, Holly's concept art that they show on the website, at least, isn't that far from what she looked like in the final movie. I just want to point out this one for being a Holly that kind of looks more like Finn. One that isn't as thinned out as Holly was, but really, Holly seemed to have stayed pretty similar to her final design. Then we get to Professor Z. And first off, I'd like to show this one, which is very odd and kind of confusing. What's on his roof here? Clearly they're not wires. Is this mud? Is this some sort of like swamp vines? These swamp vines? I'm really not sure. But it's really odd. It definitely makes him look really evil compared to the wireframe hair he was given in the movie. But I definitely like the wireframe hair because it looks more car-like. And finally, we have this great picture where it kind of speaks for itself. Yep. No monocle. His mouth is weird. This should have been done in the final movie. That's all I'm saying here. Next one, Miles Axelrod here. He looks a whole lot like the Secretary of the Interior from Planes, Fire, and Rescue. Like, a whole lot like him. Like, they're basically identical. Maybe his design gave way to designing the Secretary to be like that later on. Up next, we've got a really weird one. The dilapidated car cover, which is like a bandana here. So, when your car gets beaten up, if your car gets dented, obviously, like a normal person, you would put a bandage on it. At least that's what Pixar almost did here with Acer when he was to be beaten up in the movie. Here he's basically got a car cast. And yeah, that would make for a pretty nice die-cast variant, but that's really kind of weird there. Just kind of weird. Moving on to Grem. Remember what I explained in the past with... Or actually, sorry, I never made this episode. I had plans to talk about how in early concept art, Grem was Petrov Trunkov. Grem looked just like him and would really explain the push in Petrov Trunkov merchandise. Well, here you can see some more proof for that, as you can see in this early artwork of Grem manning the camera here, which has two lenses. It's shooting off some sort of like sonar-looking ray and looks much more weapon-like than the actual TV camera from the final movie. And if you do look closely, you can tell he's definitely more like a Trunkov. And that's pretty much it. There is some artwork for Sidley, as well as for the backgrounds, but I may just go over those at a different time. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Before we go, I want to point out that after those characters, they sadly don't provide any concept art for the racer section of the website, but this area of the website is really odd. They seem to only give you the description for Raul Cerul, unless I'm doing something wrong. And mixed in with all the racers on the racers section of the website is a picture of Rod Redline. That's just kind of weird. I don't know why. Basically, a lot of this stuff here is weird. The king was almost in the World Grand Prix. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye now.